6 months after President Bola Tinubu declared 2026 the year of consolidation, many Nigerians are asking whether the reforms are delivering results. As the economy reaches the halfway mark, this story examines key indicators, including inflation, food prices, jobs, and the cost of living. Through data, expert analysis, and the experiences of everyday Nigerians, Just Nigeria's Mercy Frank assesses whether consolidation is becoming reality or remains a work in progress.
We are committed to Nigeria entity succeeding.
In January, Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu promised stability and consolidation.
We are already out of that dark tunnel of uncertainty.
I parked my car. I'm now trekking because I cannot afford to buy fuel and engine oil and services on my bike.
Well, as long as your consolidation or your reforms don't actually translate into reduced food prices, translate into lower transportation costs, these are the things that the average Nigerian spend on, then there's still much that needs to be done.
Nigeria was Africa's largest economy in 2014 until economic headwinds and currency fluctuations led it to being surpassed by South Africa, Egypt, and Algeria. Though rankings fluctuate, projections from the International Monetary Fund tucks it on the third row with a GDP of over $377 billion. Still holding bragging rights as Africa's most populous nation, Nigeria has navigated perennial unsustainable fuel subsidies, a crippling foreign exchange crisis, skyrocketing debt servicing cost, double-digit inflation, and declining oil production that choked state revenues. Until the current administration in 2023 announced a radical economic overhaul and shifted to a market-led model. But in this transition, the cost of living soared. By January 2026, President Tinubu gave himself a pat on the back.
Over the last 2.5 years, my government has methodically confronted long-standing structural weaknesses, stabilized our economy, rebuild confidence, and lay a durable foundation for the construction of a more resilient, inclusive, and dynamic Nigeria.
Our task is now to consolidate those gains so that stability becomes prosperity, and of course, prosperity becomes shared prosperity.
But experts say that's just on paper.
Consolidation should mean stability. Stability that stems out from the macroeconomics in which you are able to reduce inflation rates, attract investors, lower the cost of living.
Translate into reduced food prices, translate into lower transportation costs.
In the past 6 months, Nigerians have braved the storm, tightened their proverbial seatbelts through the president's painful reforms.
Oil production is up again. Foreign reserves are the highest it's been since 2009. Foreign exchange has been pretty stable since late 2024 up until now.
We've also looked at our growth rate, Q1 at 3.98% on a year-on-year basis. That's also positive. But when you now look at what are those sectors that are growing, mostly strongly the services sector growing, and they are the least employer of labor.
Export-led sector is doing well. Investment sector is doing well.
For economists, these are green lines on a graph. But Nigerians don't live on graph sheets.
I have one wife and 4 children. Every day I spend at least 10,000 naira on transportation and feeding my family.
As early as January, we are still coping we take a bike 300, but right now if you don't have something like 700, you can't go to where you are going to.
In fact, the house rent is still on the high side.
Even to get money now is even more harder than now than in than January time.
To understand the real-world shift, a look at the market stalls exposes a complicated trend. A paint bucket of rice, which cost up to 7,000 naira in January, has dipped slightly to between 5,000 and 6,000 naira in June. Beans have followed a similar trend. A half pint bucket now retails for 2,500 naira, down from 3,500 naira at the start of the year.
This big can is 3,000. This small can is 1,500. This one penta gari is 2,000.
Like this one now is 40,000. Then this one is 30,000. There is difference between the two of them. So it's not really, it's just going up, coming down.
However, not every essentials are retreating. A single egg that cost 200 naira in January now sits at 250. And for the famous pure water, a bag has risen from 500 in the same period to 600 naira. To feel the pulse on a micro level, Sharon Akpa, a shoe manufacturer in southeastern Ebonyi State, says her business scaled with a government grant, but now her customers are left to choose between shoes and food.
The cost of materials keep going up, and but looking at it, even at the price we are selling, people still find it difficult to patronize us. It contributes to the low sales we are having now.
Up in northwestern Sokoto State, Bello Idris, a store owner with 3 decades of experience, says he struggles with price volatility.
The country's economy is affecting our business. Fluctuating market prices of items are very challenging. They are forcing us to increase the prices of our goods.
And in southwestern Ondo State Federal University of Technology, Damilola Adebisi says school life is challenging as she's trying to survive a semester on a budget that no longer adds up.
Before I could actually manage to say I'll eat, okay, maybe like roughly 3 times a day or even 2 times a day. But now, it is, I can't say I want to eat 3 times a day or not.
Even with substantial evidence, government is suggesting the food inflation is a bottom-up problem.
A lot of the inflation that happened in Nigeria was actually just price gouging. People realizing that, okay, this is a seller's market. People spend most of their money on food, on a bit of rent or shelter, on transportation. And so those people who sell in those axes, they see that there's that vulnerability and they take advantage of it.
It's a pedestrian approach to understanding things. I mean, it doesn't make sense. In a free economy, anybody can do what they like. There'll be alternatives. So we should be working towards, I repeat, increasing supply and production, diversity.
The balance sheet in Abuja suggests the storm has passed. But Sharon, Bello and Damilola say they are still holding on to the rafters. Economists explain the mismatch.
Less than 3 or 4% benefit from the budget. The capital expenditure that should create the jobs, that should make life easy, is always at the receiving end at the end of the day when you check the actual spending.
Government has been focusing a lot, and as they showed, on fiscal reforms, monetary policy and fiscal policy, but not so much on the structural changes that need to happen for those policy reforms to translate into improved well-being for Nigerians.
It's half-time until year-end and the start of Nigeria's 2027 general elections. Experts show a clear path to score and convert these economic signs into real relief.
If they soft power, and for most business, it takes average of 40-50% cost of production.
There is clearly an appetite for investment in Nigeria at the moment from foreign investors. You'd see them start to build factories. As you build more factories, you create more jobs.
So in reality, whatever you plan to do by 2023, by 2026, we should be seeing the fruit, not the flower.
Today, the economy and over 200 million Nigerians appear to be traveling on parallel tracks. The question Nigerians will be asking by year's end is whether those tracks finally converge, or will it be just another presidential speech? Mercy Frank, Gist Nigeria.
Hopefully, the economy impacts more Nigerians positively before 2027.